hungry, you can get you something to eat. That joint going up and she turned the corner.
He didn't roll the joint up. He had to do that. He just hit the button on this joint. And it went up.
Man, I just turned the corner on folk. Like, yo, I'm out. Man, everybody wishing everybody wishing each other a great life. Why don't we help each other accomplish a good life? Why don't I help my brothers sustain themselves, man, so that their wives will have security, so that their children will have the opportunity that they claim they want for them? And why won't they do the same for me? If we don't, it is only because we are still capitalists at heart and we still serve our own bellies. That's the only thing I can think of. Because anything outside of that is feared. Let's go ahead, Brother Judah, and let us look at that was a little funny. Let's go to Exodus 14. I pulled off on the cat. That was good. And you know, sometimes I felt so bad about, not that I feel guilty and that the Most High has given me the ability to be able to work, make a half a decent wage so I could come home and help those who I love. I'm at the grocery store. I done spent $175. I got all this organic and natural stuff. I won't lie. Sometimes I got a sweet tooth for some stuff I still shouldn't eat or something. You know, some cats might get at me. Yo, you still rocking on the Snickers? All right, kill the kid because y'all found a Snickers in the whip. You know what I mean? But I'm leaving out the store with that, and it's a dude outside the store who everybody is telling him they ain't got nothing to give him. Because I got money in my pocket, I hit him with a dove. Have you ever hit somebody, and no matter, even if you brought him a meal or you literally gave him some money, you still felt you ain't do enough for them? You still feel for them? Because I'm pulling off and going home and stocking the cabinets in the fridge. And you're going to be back there later or tomorrow doing what I saw you doing today. And because of that, it drives me to say, well, at least not among us. Come on, y'all. Not among us. No one among us should be not eating. It shouldn't be mothers who eat a little less so their children can eat more just because they don't have enough. When you know 15 to 18 other people who may be able to give you a little something out their cabinet. We know you got them babies over there here. But sometimes you don't ask because of your own pride. And sometimes we don't ask because we don't want to feel like we burdening or being in people's business. Ain't that a catch-22? You don't want to just always be calling people and be all on them because you don't want them to feel like you trying to hover over them. But you love them. And then they have love for you, but yet they don't want to feel like they're burdening you, so they will take their pain. I want to get past that. I want us to be past that. Because we need to be past that. We need to be. We have to be. Go ahead, Brother Judah. We back in Exodus 14, y'all. Verse 13 and 14, Brother Judah. Exodus 14, y'all. Verse 13 and 14.
Exodus, you said 14?
Exodus 14, verse 13 and 14.
And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show among you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. And the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
Now, how come salvation for them was literal, tangible, and immediate? Right there. You ain't got a hope for the future or nothing. You got problems with the Egyptians today, that problem going to end today. Stop being so scared and stand still. We move so much, y'all, that we just need to stand still. Everything is bothering us in this culture. We just really need to stand still so we can see The salvation of the Most High. Our mothers and our fathers seen it. An army was literally chasing them, and he's about to literally help them, because even though he told them stand still and the Lord gonna fight for you, hold your peace, the Most High didn't just fight by killing the Egyptians right there, like just a thunderbolt came from heaven and killed them. But look at the process of it. I'm gonna create a gulf between y'all in this impossible sea that it seemed like y'all can't cross. You left going for freedom, and now you've run into an impossible barrier. It seemed like an impossible barrier to cross. I'm going to be behind you, and I'm going to protect you, and I'm going to open that impossible barrier, and you're going to walk through it. They all had to do something they never did before. Walk through the middle of an ocean. How many people walk through the middle of the ocean? That took faith. Because if I was scared seeing the Egyptians coming, now I probably have peed on myself a little bit. And seeing the ocean open up and turn into a wall, and all night we're going to be given enough time for however many thousands of us it is in faith to go through there and believe that it's not going to come back in on us. See, the salvation, even though it was ready and right there, it wasn't thunderbolt from heaven. Look, I just killed the Egyptians. Bow, smashed them like an ant. No, the danger's still there. And you moving quick through the joint like, I know the Egyptians back there. I know they back there. Yeah, the persecution going to chase us. The oppression and the desires of the world and the cares of the riches of this life are going to always chase us. But the Most High will make up our rear work if we're willing to walk through this place he's about to clear for us on faith. This impossible gulf that it seemed once we have left bondage, we come to a dead end. How many of you felt you found out about Christ and you was all joyful? And then you heard the other side of the gospel, ain't nobody teaching you. And it seemed like you done come to something that's in front of your eyes that's looking like, oh, I don't know if we can do this. How many people say, I don't know if we're going to get away from the Egyptians. How are we going to get across the sea? Are we going to let him open it up? Are we going to stand still and watch those who have faith do what they got to do so that the Most High will open up this impasse for us? He will open it up for us, but our fear and our unbelief will keep, it's just going to stay there. And in some cases it's open, and if you're scared enough, you still refuse to walk through. Somebody got to knock you out, and you just wake up on the other side. Like, what happened? What? Can't wake up. Wake up like Victor Ortiz did that last Saturday. What happened?
And he had a smile on his face.
It's over. It's over. Like, where the Egyptians? Right there, floating in the water. And I use that analogy because Christ said that in the spirit, he said that our troubles is like a passing the night watch. It's trouble in front of you, but it's just like a night has went past. Because when your joy come in the morning, all that gonna seem like it was last night. Brothers and sisters, we can really do this thing if we just stand still so we can see the salvation of the Lord. And his salvation wasn't just for our heart. Yes, his salvation and understanding him is supposed to produce a faith in our heart. But then there are going to literally be some works to happen that our eye can see that will strengthen our faith. And that's what we need. We need to see something so our faith can be strengthened sometimes, because sometimes you just walking in unbelief. You walking in fear. Ain't that what signs was for? Signs was for those who didn't believe. Sometimes you probably find yourself doubting. So the Lord got to send something your way just so you can know, no, the game is still on. Don't be so quick to be looking back at Pharaoh chasing you, talking about it probably was better to be back in bondage. No, don't think like that. Don't think like that. Read verse 30 and 31 and we'll move on, Brother Judah. Same chapter, just skip down to verse 30 and 31.
Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses.
See, brothers and sisters, I believe if we really do what we have to do and get over our fear, like Moses had to got over his fear of his incapability first in order to even go back to Egypt. Y'all know that story. He gave the Most High some excuses on why he was not the one that should be doing this. But he got over his fear. Moses getting over his fear and having faith even when the people didn't. When the people saw what the Lord did, they seen his salvation and they believed the Lord. And they believed his servant Moses. So there is a work that have to be seen to strengthen people. There was a work with the salvation. It wasn't salvation in theory. And if you look up the word salvation, brothers and sisters, inside the Hebrew, the word for salvation here, number 3444. Do anyone know what the word for salvation is? The word for salvation in Hebrew is Yeshua. That's the word for salvation. Yeshua. That's lovely, ain't it? They saw Yeshua, if you will. They saw their salvation. And the word means aid, something saved, victory, prosperity, deliverance, health, help, helping, saving health, welfare. The welfare, the health, the deliverance, and the help that's needed for your brother and sister is salvation. And that work is tangible and not a work in theory. It's supposed to be seen. That's why the Most High didn't do the thunder and lightning thing. Parting the Red Sea was enough. But instead of him doing it, you know what he did? He said, hey, Moses, take your stick. He wanted them to see that he's working in man. I'm working with man. Y'all gonna believe him when y'all see him in faith work my work? What is supposed to be going on in the body that people should see that is salvation? It is deliverance. It helps save. It brings health, prosperity, aid, and welfare. That's what salvation is. But they throw it all just in the person of Christ laying on the stick. And that's all salvation is, him dying. That's it. That is not it. That's a part of it. Go to Isaiah 62, Brother Judah. Isaiah 62, we got a few more left. Isaiah 62. Isaiah 62, and when we get there, we're going to start reading at verse 1, and it's something that I want to see. I want us to see about the promised salvation. And this is what, this is what the disciples and the believers in Judea who would have accepted Christ as the anointed one, this is the things that they would expect from whoever salvation is going to be brought through. Isaiah 62, verse 1, Brother Judah.
For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth.
What is this salvation? It's welfare. It's health. The Lord not going to rest until Jerusalem is restored back to its proper health and welfare.
And it's supposed to be a sign, a lamp.
And a lamp. That's what a lamp does. It light a path. When you see that happening, it's showing you a way. It's showing you a path. Right. Good, good observation, brother.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory. And they shall be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name.
Verse 6.
I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
See, people want those who make mention of the Lord to be quiet sometimes. Like,